And good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Hey,
Hey.
and guess what? Welcome back to another episode of the good news from the Yurt Nation.
That's right. The good news, guys. We need some good news, ladies and gentlemen, don't we? And, well, thank you for coming here because this is the right place.
Yeah.
This is where we share the good news. And this morning, today's title, the title just really stuck out to me, you know? And yes, it's Thursday, April 4th, 2024. But today's title, Faith Through Fear. And it's like and then even one of the questions that I had is even in the devotion. Can we have faith even though we fear? Yeah. Because, God...
I believe.
Well, but God tells us, fear not.
Fear not.
And I don't know if you knew this, because, well, I don't know, we ain't known it that long. I don't even remember when the first time we heard it and found out that it's true, but fear not is 365 times it says fear not in the Bible. And one for every day of the year, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? I got to thinking, I don't fear people. I don't fear, whoever's in this world or whatever. I fear God.
Right.
That's who I fear.
But if we're honest with each other, though, have you been fearful? Have you been afraid?
Oh, yeah.
At things? And it's like, pick out what may, I'm a little afraid or something. And I remember one night the wind was very, very strong. I don't even know what the mile per hour was, but it was so strong that the trees sounded like they were, hitting the ground and swaying back the other side. And she was afraid, and
I was scared about that.
And I'll be honest with you, I was nervous. So is that's part of fear, being nervous and anxious and whatnot, yeah. So the question is, like I was saying, can you have faith though we fear? So we're going to jump into this and see what this tells us today. Thank you so much for coming in here. And let's get into this. Faith through fear. And it's the Bible thought is out of Revelation 1:17 through 18. It says, "Do not be afraid. I am the living one." Now we're going to read the story of this devotion is out of Genesis 50, 15 through 21. And we're talking about Joseph here. And we know about Joseph, the coat of many colors, and he was the one son that kind of was looked down on from his other brethren, and if you've read the story, about Joseph and through that time frame right there, there was a coat of many colors made for him, and he wore that, and he even had dreams and visions of like he was going to be basically greater than his brethren. Well, his brethren did not like that at all, so they devised a plan to get rid of him, and did.
Yeah.
Tricked their blind father Jacob into believing that he's dead. And guess what? Joseph sold into slavery into the Egyptians. And we know that through God blessed him through the Egyptians because they put him head man over charge of everything. Yeah. Wow. So we're leading up to past that and just kind of catching you up, I guess.
Yeah.
So starting chapter 50 in Genesis, verse 15. "And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us, and will certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him. And they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, Thy father did command before he died, saying, So shall ye say unto Joseph, Forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sin, for they did evil unto thee. And now, we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face, and they said, Behold, we be thy servants. And Joseph said unto them, Fear not, for am I in the place of God. But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. Now therefore fear ye not, I will nourish you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spake kindly unto them. Like I said, and like that said, they did all kinds of bad things to him. And he could have very easily turned bitter and says, I'm gonna pay them back. And I'm in charge where I can. But he didn't, And then they come and send a messenger and found out that his father has died. And he loved his father.
Yeah.
So, okay, here we go. We're going to jump in now to this devotion, Faith Through Fear. Starting out with some questions for you and for us.
Yeah.
For all of us.
We learn we learn with you.
Yeah.
Too.
It says, is it natural for me to be afraid? I mean, that's a fair question. Is it natural for me to feel afraid? Being human, I recognize my vulnerabilities. Challenges to our faith emerge daily, causing us to fear. Can we have faith even though we fear? Wasn't Daniel filled with trepidation as he faced the lions? Undoubtedly he was. Yet through unwavering faith, he was saved. And we know the story of Daniel. I mean, the king did not like Daniel because he wouldn't basically bow down before him. And so what did he do? Well, throw him into the lion's den, let them kill him and eat him up. Nope. And good and well he had anxiety getting thrown in, but he knew God was with him.
Yep.
And he was saved through that. David, this is talking about David. David proclaimed, I will trust in God, whose word I praise. In God I trust. I will not be afraid. What can mortal man do to me? And in Psalm 121, we can remember, the Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. And we know that David, seeked God. He had some bad mistakes that he had done in his life as being king. And but when he realized what he had done and repented, I mean, boy, go through Psalms. That's one of my favorite books.
That's one of my favorite books too. And I have to say something real fast.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Psalms is Psalms 91.
Yeah.
When Corey's mama, said, read Psalms 91 every day if you can.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, it helps. It's uplifting. Just shows how special you really are.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So,
all right, and it says, reflecting on his own trials, Joseph reassured his brothers, don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended it for harm, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done. We just read that in Genesis 50, verse 20. Joseph had come through many fears with faith and was now able to reassure his brothers. When I confront overwhelming anxieties, as has often been the case, I find peace in knowing God is always with me, just like he was with Joseph, David, or Daniel. He crafted the vastness of the heavens and the earth, and yet he knows me and my fear. Even if surrounded by overwhelming obstacles, my hope and faith remain steadfast on Jesus. He never overlooks my struggles. His very presence instills hope within me today. And you know, the presence of God and the presence of Jesus, matter of fact, he said, when there's two or more of you gathered together in my name, I am in the midst of you.
Yeah, he's there.
And I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly, that what that just says at the end, his very presence instills hope within me today. Because, I mean, there's so many things that are pulling and tugging and draining our hope tank dry, if we let it. But there's far too many promises in the Bible, and as he was working with Joseph, and Joseph seen it, David seen it, Daniel seen it. Yeah. And then what about the three that got thrown into the fiery furnace, and there was another person in there with them? You know what I mean? He's there with us, y'all. And
he's everywhere.
I'm not going to say that from this day on, I'm not going to fear, and you're not going to fear either. We're human. Mm-mm. I wish I could say that. I wish I could say that and it be true. But all I can do, and I believe all of us, is just one day at a time. One day at a time, because I'm telling you, it's the battle between the spirit and the flesh. We live in a fleshly body, okay? Boomage.
Yep.
We live in a world that feeds flesh, feeds the fleshly desires, and all this, that, and the other. And then when something little sometimes or big happens, what do? Boom, fear.
Yeah.
We're afraid. What's going to happen? What about my image? What about my income? What about my friends? What about, whatever? And we shouldn't. We should just stop for a minute, because that fear is not coming from God.
No, it's not.
Fear is not coming from God. And once again, 365 times it's mentioned, fear not, in the Bible. And so we should know that.
That reminds me of that in Matthew, that last verse that he says, I am with you always.
Right. There's one of them right there.
Forever.
And we are such a people that we have to see, we have to hear, we have to smell, we have to touch, for us to believe it. Not all of us. No. Because, what is it? How much more greater are we to believe in something that we've not seen than those that did see? It's a blessing, it's an honor to believe that the one that created, like it said in here, created the vast heavens and all the beauty and amazing places on earth. He's got us. He knows about us.
He does.
Like it says about, if God knows about a sparrow, a bird, a sparrow, or any bird falls from the sky, how much more is he aware of you in our, situations? He is. So let's not fear. And if we do let fear creep in, let's know how to combat it and
tackle it.
And tackle it. That's right. Because we don't want to be, it's not a good feeling when you're always fearful. It's not. We've been there.
Mm-hmm. I can say that.
Yeah.
I've been there a bunch.
Yeah.
And I think just taking one day at a time, like
That's
you
right.
said.
Yeah.
And that's all we can do.
And that's all we can do. And we can do it together, guys, here at the Good News from Yurt Nation. One day at a time, let's do these devotions. And
my nanny used to love that song, One Day at a Time, Sweet Jesus.
That's right. So, guys, there you go. We'll leave you with that. Boomage, we love you guys. Thank y'all so much for the overwhelming support and love that we are getting from everybody that is watching. We thank you so much. And you know what? Let's do some amazing things out there, because you know why? We're amazing people.
That's right, baby. Woohoo!
So until then,
and y'all are too.
That's right. Till then, we'll see you on the next one, okay? Peace out. Love you guys.
And have a good day.
That's right.
Never quit. Never give up. Love you.
That's right.